And we'll begin in child's pose today. So just coming down into child's pose. And I want you to take your arms towards the left side of your mat and stretch through. So you're getting a nice stretch down the right side of your body. Taking some deep breaths. So today is going to be a yoga for full moon energy. So we're all about the heart, the nurturing part. And it's going to be a full moon tonight. And so we can bring in all of the beautiful energy of the full moon and nurturing. So when we get to a full moon, it's all about celebration of the last 4 weeks in the cycle, all the things that have come to fruition, what we can be grateful for and celebrate. Let's take our arms to the right side of the mat, stretching through the left side of the body. It just happens to be a supermoon cycle as well. Supermoon is when the Earth is quite close to the moon, or the moon's close to the Earth. So it appears larger, the moon appears larger and brighter. Let's take a couple more deep breaths on this side. And then bring your hands to the middle, straight out in front. Bring your forehead down towards the mat. Let's take 3 deep breaths. So breathing in and then big breath out. Big breath in. And big breath out. One more. From here, we're going to come into Cobra Pose. So we're laying with the front of our body on the mat and our hands just underneath our shoulders. We're going to lift up our chest as we inhale, placing our hands open, nice and open, lifting up, squeezing through the buttocks and bring the shoulders back and down. Just taking a couple of breaths here, opening up through the heart, reflecting on your last 4 weeks and thinking about what you have to be grateful for and what you have to celebrate and to lift your heart. And then sliding your hands back and coming up into your first downward dog. I'm going to tuck our toes under, lift our hips up, and walk our heels down to the mat. Let's take some nice deep breaths here. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then coming back to tabletop. And we're going to go into lizard pose from here. We're going to take our right foot and pick it up and place it next to our right hand. So taking your body forward so you get a nice stretch through the front of your left hip. Let's take some nice breaths here. And then we're going to lift up the left knee and take our left hand up. That's it. So really stretching through the front of that left hip and through the back of the right leg. Taking 2 more breaths here. Then bring the left hand down to the mat and take your body forward again. So you've got a bend in the right knee, and inhale, lift the right hand up and take that up. Feeling the stretch here through the back of the right buttock and still stretching through the hip on the left side. 2 more breaths here, and then bring your hand back down to the mat and then take the right foot back, coming into plank pose, or you can bring your knees down onto the mat so you're in a half plank. And then back into tabletop. And we'll take our left foot forward this time. So bring your left foot next to your left hand. Bring your body forward so you get that nice stretch through the right hip. Just taking some nice breaths here. Stretching out through the hip, opening the hip area and also opening the heart area. Then tucking the toes under on the right foot and lift up the right knee off the mat. And from here, we're going to take the right hand up. So draw the left hand a little bit towards the middle of the mat. And then inhale, lift the right arm up, opening up through the chest. Take your eyes up towards your right hand. Take 2 breaths here. And then bring the right hand back down to the mat and lift up the left hand. So really opening up through that heart area, nice twist through the front of the chest and through the back. Bring the left hand back down to the mat, bring the right knee down and slide the left foot back next to the right, coming back into a plank. And just take some nice deep breaths here, nice and strong. And then bring your knees back down to the mat. And we're going to come up into standing position. So come to the back of the mat, turn the left foot out slightly, raising the chest and step forward with the right foot. Just check your alignment of your right heel and your left arch. Bring your hips forward. And we're going to take right hand forward, left hand back, and then bending the right knee. So we're coming into warrior 2, and we're opening up through the chest. So bringing our hands back, looking towards the right hand. Just taking some breaths here. And then as you inhale, bring the left hand back to the back of the left knee and bring the right hand up to the ceiling. And take your gaze up to the right hand. Really stretching through the chest and through the right side. And then exhaling, bringing the right hand down to the mat. If you have a block, you can put the block there. Bring your right hand down right next to your right foot. And straighten out your right leg and bring your left hand straight up in the air and take your gaze with it. So into a triangle pose. Just take some nice deep breaths here. And then bringing the left hand down to the mat and taking your hand so you've got one on either side of your right foot. And then I want you to step back into a plank. And then bring your hips up towards the sky into downward dog. Let the crown of your head point down towards the earth. And as you inhale, imagine you're sucking up all those beautiful moonbeams that are coming through for the full moon, or that beautiful energy, that moon energy that you're underneath. Just taking some nice deep breaths. Then taking your feet wide and walking your hands back towards your feet, coming into a wide-legged forward bend. Let the crown of your head face down to the mat. Palms open and place in between your feet. And just taking some nice deep breaths here. Coming back to the theme of our practice around the full moon and what we have nurtured in the last 4 weeks since the new moon, what's come to fruition and what we have to be grateful for. Let's take 3 more breaths here. letting your head fall heavy and your chest fall heavy, opening up through the spine and the back of the legs. And a slight bend in the knees. And as you inhale, bring your arms up and standing back up and hands back to heart center. And then walk your feet back together, give them a little shake. And then we'll go to the other side. So turning the right foot out slightly, step forward with the left foot. Look at the alignment of your left heel and your right arch. Bring your hips and the chest facing forward. And we're going to inhale, bending the left knee. Bring the left hand out in front and the right hand behind. And looking forward towards the left hand. Bringing the elbows back so you've got a nice stretch through the front of the chest and squeezing a little bit around the shoulder blades. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Nice and strong through the left thigh. And then inhale, bring the left hand up and the right hand back to the right knee. Looking up towards the ceiling, stretching through the left side of the body, opening up the heart towards, facing up towards the moon. Take a couple of breaths here. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand down towards the mat. You can place your block there next to your left foot. And then bring your right hand up towards the sky and look up towards it, lengthening out the left leg into triangle pose. So really opening up through the heart area, squeezing through the shoulder blades, looking up towards the right hand. Let's take a couple more breaths here. One more breath. And then bring the right hand down to the mat and frame your left foot with both hands and step the left foot back into a plank, a high plank. Take a couple of breaths here and then lift up your hips towards the sky into a downward dog, walking your heels down towards the mat, stretching through the back of the legs. Taking some nice deep breaths here. And then walking your feet wide and walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a wide-legged forward bend, and let the crown of your head face down towards the earth, opening up through the palms. Let your head fall heavy and let your chest fall heavy. As you enjoy the inversion, just reflecting on that full moon energy as it beams down, covering you with its beautiful, vibrant energy. It's all celebration energy. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. So breathing in all the moonbeams, and then breathe out everything that doesn't serve you. 2 more breaths like that. As you exhale, allow yourself to come a little more into that forward bend, surrendering into the forward bend. Bending the knees, and then inhale, bring the arms up, all the way up, and then back to heart center, and bring our feet back together. Give them a little shake. And we're going to go into tree pose next. So it's opening up the right toes and moving our hips in little circles so we connect with those anchor points underneath our feet, around the back of the little toe towards the big toe and in the heel. And we're going to pick our left leg up, place it either next to the left calf or you can come up higher. Try not to place it next to the knee though. Find yourself a gazing point, getting nice and steady. And then from here, we're going to do some big circles with our arms. imagining we're drawing a big circle as we inhale, lifting the arms up and exhaling as they calm down. So the nice big shape of a full moon. And we're going to go to the other way. So inhaling, bringing the arms up, and exhaling as the arms come down. And then lower that left foot to the ground, give both legs a little shake. And we'll go to the other side. So opening up through the toes on the left side, on the left foot, and connecting with those anchor points. Bring the right foot either next to the calf, or you can go a little higher. Find yourself a gazing point. And we're going to inhale, lift our arms up. And exhale, bring them around in a big circle. That's it. And then come back the other way. Let's go 2 more. Breathing in as you come up. And breathing out as you come down. Tuning into that gazing point. It's a little more difficult when you're moving your arms. We're drawing the circle of the full moon and then release the foot. Give them both a little shake. From here, we're going to come down to the mat and we're going to sit down with our legs out in front. We're going to inhale, lift our arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands down towards your toes, your ankles, or your shins. Let's take 3 breaths here. On each exhale, allow your body to come a little bit more forward, connecting with the stretch through the back of your legs and your lower back, and through your shoulders, gazing towards your toes. And 1 more breath here. Then inhale, lift up your chest and bring the left knee out to the side and the left foot next to your right thigh, coming up nice and tall. If you find your knees up really high, you can place a block under it or a blanket or a towel, or you can slide the foot a little bit further down the leg. So we're going to inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold forward. Gazing towards the right toes. If you can hold your foot, hold the foot. If not, grab the ankle or the shin. And notice the stretch through the left leg, and also down the back of the right leg. A little bit of stretch through the shoulders as well. And then inhale, coming up. And then we're going to swap around to the other leg. So taking the left leg forward, bending the right knee, bring the right foot next to the right thigh, coming up onto your sit bones, nice tall spine. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold forward. Notice how your body feels. You might find that one side is more flexible than the other. If you find on this side you need to put a prop under your knee, or you need to slide your foot forward, do that to make it more comfortable. Gazing towards the left toe. Just taking some nice deep breaths here. One more breath. And then release your hands, come back up to sitting and bring both legs forward. Give them a little shake. Coming back up onto your sit bones, and inhale, lift up. Stretch your body, lift up towards the sky, and exhale, fold forward. And notice where your hands land this time. You probably have a little bit more flexibility now. Softening your eyes. coming back to the theme of our practice, what we are grateful for, what we're celebrating, scanning through the areas of your life, your health, your relationships, your work and home and your lifestyle, thinking about those different areas and what you have nurtured over the last 4 weeks and what we should be celebrating. Just taking some more deep breaths here, stretching through the back of the legs, the lower back and the upper back. Two more breaths. And then inhale, release your legs, release your feet. And then bringing your feet together, soles together, knees out to the side, lifting your spine, coming up onto your sit bones, sliding the feet towards your body and bringing your hands down towards your feet. Using your elbows if you wish to bring your chest forward and just gently press onto your calf muscles and opening up through the groin area. Just looking up, just taking some deep breaths here, connecting with that stretch through the groin. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then releasing your hands from your feet and coming back to tabletop position. Opening up your hands, lifting your knees and lifting your hips. Coming back into downward dog, walking your heels down towards the mat. Allowing your crown of your head to face down to the mat. Just paddling your heels, stretching through the back of your body, stretching through your shoulders and your arms. And then coming into tabletop again, so bringing your knees back down to the mat. And from here, we're going to go into Tiger Pose. So we're going to open up our palms and press the palms down into the mat. We're going to lift our right knee, bring the foot up towards the ceiling, and with the left hand, lifting the left hand off the mat and reaching back to the right foot. Might take a little bit of grabbing, that's it. And then reaching up, kicking that right foot back and lifting up the hip, lifting up the chest, opening up through the chest and stretching. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then release the hand and come to a wide knees. Bring your buttocks back to your heels and coming into Child's Pose. Stretching out through the lower back, bringing your forehead down towards the mat. Just taking some deep breaths here. Noticing how your body's feeling, noticing your energy levels. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then coming back up to tabletop, bringing your knees back under your hips and opening up your fingers. And this time we're going to go into tiger on the other side. So we're going to lift up our left knee, bending the left knee, bringing the foot up towards the ceiling, looking forward, and then take your right hand off the mat and slide it back to connect with your left foot. Lifting up through the chest, kicking that foot back. Take a couple of breaths here. And then release the foot, coming back to the mat and back into Child's Pose. Nice wide knees. Bringing your buttocks back to your heels, walking your hands forward. Coming back to child's pose and taking some nice deep breaths here. Take one more breath and then coming back up to tabletop. We'll do a couple of cat cows. Inhale, lifting our chest and lifting our gaze. And exhale, bringing our spine up towards the mat, looking through the knees towards the feet, stretching through the vertebrae and the back and the shoulders. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, just using your breath to initiate the movement. Just creating some space in the vertebrae. Notice that stretch through the back of the neck as you inhale and lift the spine up towards the ceiling. And then coming back to tabletop, bringing the right hand towards the middle of the mat. We're going to do some thread the needles. We're going to lift our left hand up and open our chest. And exhale, thread that left hand underneath the right and hover it, stretching through the left shoulder blade. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, bring it down and hover. Inhale, lift up, and lifting our heart up. And then exhale, we're going to bring the left shoulder and ear down towards the mat. Slide the right hand forward, taking a few breaths here, just stretching through the left shoulder blades. And then on your next inhalation, bring the left hand back up to the mat. Slide the right hand back underneath your shoulder, and then bring the left hand towards the middle of the mat. And this time we're going to lift up the right hand towards the ceiling. So we're going to inhale, looking at the right hand, and lift it all the way up, opening up through the chest, and nice twist through the upper back. Exhale, bring the right hand through underneath, threading it underneath the left. Inhale, lift up and look towards the right hand. And exhale, bring it down under. And one more. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, bring the right hand down, the right shoulder, right ear towards the mat, and let's slide the left hand forward. Taking some nice deep breaths here and connecting with the stretch through the right scapula. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Then inhale, bring the right hand back onto the mat underneath your shoulders. Do a couple more cat cows, just flushing out our back after all that twisting. Nice stretch through the back of the neck as well. And from here, we're going to go into pigeon pose. So we'll take our hands slightly forward, and we're going to take our left knee forward and take the left foot out towards the right side of the mat. And then lift our chest and slide our right leg back. So this one, yep, Penny, that's great. You can do yours on your back. It's easier on your knees. So we're lifting our chest and we're really stretching through that left ITB and left glute. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to slide our left foot back towards the left side of the mat and slide the left knee back and swap over to the other side. So taking the right knee forward, left foot out to the side, lifting the chest, slide the left leg back. That's it. So lifting up through the chest area, lifting your heart. And connecting with that deep stretch on the right side of the glutes. Helping to release any tension that we have around that right glute area, ITB area, and lower back. And then from here, we're going to come back to tabletop and then come onto our backs. And we're going to go into a reclining butterfly pose. So we've got our soles of our feet together, knees out to the side, laying our back onto the mat and lifting our hands up above our hips. So we're really stretching out and opening up to all of those beautiful full moon beams, relaxing your elbows back to the mat, allowing your knees to fall out to the sides. Just taking some nice deep breaths here and then reflecting again those different facets of your life, what you have to be grateful for, your health, your relationships, your lifestyle, your spirituality. Softening your eyes, surrendering into that floor, allowing your back and your feet, your shoulders, your arms, connecting with the floor and the energy of the earth, with the moonbeams, the full moonbeams shining directly down onto you, revitalizing you with all the celebration energy. As you inhale, bring both knees back together and then reach forward with your arms and hug your knees to your chest, doing some little circles in one direction and then the other direction. Allowing your feet to come down to the ground, knees bent, arms out to the side, straight out from your shoulders. Allow your knees to fall to the right as you gaze to the left, coming into a twist through the left side of your body. Just taking some deep breaths here, and on each exhalation, allow your body to twist a little more. One more breath. On your next inhale, bring your knees to center and then take them to the left side, looking to the right, twisting through the right side of your body, just surrendering into the twist. Taking some nice deep breaths, stretching the right side of the body. One more breath here. And then inhale, bring your knees back to center and hug them to your chest. Just flush out all those twists. You might like to circle or rock your body backwards and forwards, whatever feels right. And then reaching through your knees towards your feet. If you can grab the outside of your feet or even your ankles or your shins and raise the soles of your feet towards the ceiling and up towards where the full moon is, and coming into happy baby pose, flattening out your back, nice stretch through the lower back. Take some nice breaths here. Taking 2 more breaths. Then releasing your hands from your feet and taking your feet directly up into the air, into our legs up position. You might like to rock your body backwards and forwards and lift your hands underneath your lower back. Bringing your feet straight up. Nice stretch through the legs, flexing your feet and then taking them in a circular direction. One way and then the other. Connecting with the energy of the earth and the energy of the moon. Taking your feet out wide. Just breathing deeply. Checking your energy levels. Checking the effects of the yoga practice on your body. And then bringing the soles of your feet together, knees out to the side. Taking some nice deep breaths here. And then taking your feet back up tall again, stretching the legs up, flexing the feet. Let's take 4 more deep breaths. And then bending your knees, bringing your feet down to earth. And then sliding the feet forward into Savasana. If you want to put a bolster underneath your knees, you can to support your lower back. Having your palms facing up from the floor. You might like to place an eye pillow over your eyes or a blanket under your head. It's getting yourself nice and comfortable. Taking some deep breaths. That's it. And cover yourself up with a blanket if you wish to keep all that beautiful energy and heat that you've created in and around your body. Noticing your breath, but keeping it completely spontaneous. Noticing the earth supporting you underneath your body. And connecting with all the beautiful energy coming down from the full moon. Noticing your energy levels. And reflecting on what you're celebrating and what you're grateful for. Connecting back into your breathing and noticing the earth underneath your body. Noticing the sounds outside the room and the sounds in the room. Wiggling your fingers and toes and stretching out your arms and your legs. If anything's come up for you while you've been having your yoga practice, it's a great thing to journal some of those. Noticing what you're proud of and what you've nurtured and what you've seen grow. What you've witnessed bloom and come to fruition. Rolling to one side. Taking a few breaths. And coming back up into seated position. We're going to finish off with an Om today. Bring our hands up to our heart center. Taking a deep breath in. Om. Bring our hands up to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind heart. Namaste. Thank you for your beautiful yoga practice today, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
How's everybody feeling?
Thank